Shalom, shalom. The title of this lesson, Men Are Trees. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit. Lo willing, that they continue in sound doctrine. Shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters of this faith. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, Yahweh Shem Shai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that is not in the faith. Okay? So this lesson is inspired by a point that was made on TikTok where some Christian Israelite individuals could not understand men are described as trees because they thought Eve really bit from a tree or got a fruit from a tree. They don't believe that other men or men were here even before or during the time of Adam. They think Adam was the only one or first created. So again, the title of this lesson is Men Are Trees. So men, especially Israelites, are symbolically likened to trees. Now all men can be symbolic to trees, but especially when we look at the point, especially when we see in the gospel, the Israelites are symbolic or the liking to a tree, a plant, or vines, because trees represents growth, fruit, roots, and judgment. The Most High uses this comparison to show a man's spiritual life, fruitfulness, or destruction. The same way how Yahweh Shai cursed the fig tree because it wasn't bearing fruit. The same as you 2/3 have been cursed or not prayed for, right? Because the Lord knew that you would not bring forth fruit. So when we read this in Genesis 2:7-9, Yahweh Shai formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostril the breath of life, which is really that spirit, right? The spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And man became a living soul. We're living because of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Because the spirit of the Lord makes us something. Solomon said it in Wisdom of Solomon 9:6. Without thy wisdom, we're regarded as nothing. That same wisdom, that knowledge and understanding comes from the spirit of Yahweh. Yahweh Shem Shai, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai power, planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made Yahweh Shem Shai power to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? So Adam was formed from the ground, the same ground that produced trees. Both men and tree come from the same source and rely on the same elements: water, light, and earth. Spiritually, man is a tree planted in the garden. Some bring forth good fruit, others eaten of or a forbidden tree, right? So let's look at Psalms chapter 1, verse 1. It says, "Blessed is the man, his delight is in the law of Yahweh, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper." So this is the clearest metaphor. The righteous man, a tree planted by rivers, rooted in wisdom, right? Because if that tree roots is near a river, water, which is flowing, that water goes back to wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Second Esdras, the 14th chapter, verse 47. A fountain, a stream, or a spring of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Fruit goes into righteous works, okay? So let's look at Isaiah 61. Verse 3, "To appoint unto them the mount in Zion, to give unto them beauty of ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh Shema Shai, that he might be glorified, right? The elect of Yasharella of Israel are called trees of righteousness. Yahweh's planting. This directly connects Israel obedience in fruit bearing to trees in the garden, right? The same, oh, Eve, she bit from a fruit. No, you have some trees bearing corrupt fruit and others bearing fruit of life, right? Abundance, right? When we go to Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, verse 7, blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahweh, for he shall be as a tree planted by the rivers. The same thing as Psalms chapter 1. It shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green. It shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. So those who trust Yahweh are compared to trees with deep roots, unshaken in tribulation, right? Because a tree is even healthy when it's planted on a fruitful foundation, like the soil, and it's getting water. So the same as a man being planted near a river is the same as a man planted in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. The foundation is Yahushai, and through Yahushai is flowing that ever-living water, what we see in St. John, the 7th chapter. So when we look at Judges, the 9th chapter, I don't want to read the whole thing. I really just want to get to the point. Let me see. Judges chapter 9, verse 8. It says, the trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them. And they said unto the olive tree, reign thou over us. But the olive tree said unto them, should I leave my fatness wherewith by me they honored the Most High in man, and go to be promoted over the trees? And the tree said to the fig tree, come thou and reign over us. But the fig tree said unto them, should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and to go to be promoted over the trees? Then said the trees unto the vine, come thou and reign over us. And the vine said unto them, should I leave my wine, which cheereth the Most High in man, and go to be promoted over the trees? Then said all the trees unto the bramble, come thou and reign over us. What? No. The trees in this parable represents leaders of Israel in the time of the judges. The olive tree, fig tree, vine refused, but the bramble accepted, symbolizing the wicked ruler Abimelech. So even in the parable, trees, right, were pointed to men, right? A parable. What's a parable? An earthly story, but a heavenly matter. Okay? So now we got another point, and keep it short. 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter, in verse 41. It says, for as the husbandman soweth much seed upon the ground, and planteth many trees, yet the thing that is sown good in its season cometh not up, neither doeth all that is planted take root. Even so is it of them that are sown in the world, and they shall not all be saved. I answered then and said, if I have found grace, let me speak. Like as the husbandman's seed perisheth, if it come not up, and receive not thy rain in due season. For if there come too much rain and corrupt it, even so perish man also, which is formed with thy hands, and is called thy own image, because thou art like unto him, for whose sake thou hast made all things, and liken him unto the husbandman's seed. Right? Trees represent Salakia. Trees represent men sown in the world. Some are fruitful, which is the elect. Some, really a few, is the elect. And some or many die. That is the wicked. Okay? When Yahushai cursed that dang fig tree, that is synonymous with the wicked. Many are corrupted. Many are wicked. Right? Many are corrupt trees. Few are fruitful, plentiful. right? When we go to Sirach, the 24th chapter, Ecclesiasticus 24 verse 30 to 34, I also came out as a brook from a river, and as a conduit into a garden. I said, I will water my best garden, and will water abundantly my garden bed. And lo, my brook became a river, and my river became a sea. I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever. Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for them that seek wisdom. It's another one, I think, in Sirach 33 that go with that too. But wisdom is likened unto watering a garden of men, right? Because the prophets are like gardeners, you know, because a gardener is you know, taking care of the plants, right, and watering those seeds so that they can, you know, start to blossom. So Israel are plants and trees receiving water, which is synonymous with wisdom. Okay. So let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter, in verse 3 to 5. It says, but the multiplying broad of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from the bastard slips, nor lay any fast foundation. For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not last, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds they shall be rooted out. The imperfect branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable, not right to eat, meat for nothing. So the ungodly are trees without root, meaning wicked men without the word, right? So if you're not planted in the foundation, Luke chapter 6, verse 46 to 49, right? If you're not planted on a solid foundation, you'll be destroyed by the storm, okay? The root symbolizes the foundation of Yahweh. That's, man, because I just quoted it through the Spirit. Let's get it. Luke, the 6th chapter. Let's just get the point. I believe. Let's get the point. Let's just read 48 and 49. It says, he is like a man which built his house and dig deep and laid the foundation on the rock. The rock is Yahushai. When the flood arose, the stream beat violently upon the house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. Right? So if you're not rooted in the foundation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, you're going to be destroyed. Really, you're just a corrupt tree, right? So when we look at Mark, the 8th chapter, we can start at 22. Let me see. Yep, let's get it. It says, for he cometh to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto them, and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. After that, he put his hands upon his eyes and made him look up. And he was restored and saw every man clearly. And he sent him away to his house, saying, neither go into the town, nor tell it to any in the town. Now, when you get an MRI, it's different ways you can look at an MRI. You can look at the skeleton structure, and you can look at the vein structure from feet to head, by the veins of the MRI. It's going to look like a tree. Okay, so Yahushua healed the blind man and spiritually opened his eyes to a deeper vision, Men are seen as trees because that's what they represent symbolically in the spirit, right? So when you go to Matthew, Matthew chapter 7, verse 16, ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Trees, symbolic to men. Fruit, symbolic to work. Fire, symbolic to judgment. This is direct. The Hamashiach himself uses the tree as a symbol for people's righteousness or wickedness. That's plain and simple, right? So when we go to St. John, the 15th chapter, St. John chapter 15, verse 1 to 5. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. Right? So Yahushua is the vine. Israel, which is the believers, are the branches, and the Father is the gardener. This connects the spiritual body of believers as trees, branches within Yahushua, the source of life, right? So now, let's go to the book of Romans, the 11th chapter. Romans chapter 11, verse 17. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, wert grafted in among them, and with them partakest of the root and fatness of the olive tree, boast not against the branches. But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in. What? Israelites of the Gentiles, dispersia or scattered, are called wild olive trees, grafted back into the cultivated olive trees, which is the covenant people. Okay? And all of us is a part of the product of being dispersed or scattered. So when we look at from Genesis to Revelation, the Most High constantly uses trees as representations of men, especially Yasharella. The righteous are the trees of righteousness, firmly rooted in the word. The wicked are the trees without fruit, destined to be cut down and burned. Isaiah 61 verse 3, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he might be glorified. Because Yahweh Shemashai is going to be glorified in us. The things that's going to happen on this side, which connects his truth being the truth, right? So Lord willing, this is edifying for those that truly don't understand. Men, especially in scriptures, when they speak about trees, most cases it's speaking about men, right? And this goes to the live I just did. In order to become a believer, you must be a student, right? In order to believe in this, to grow, you must be a student. So you must learn. So all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well through the spirit. Almighty Shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit, Lord willing, that y'all can continue in sound doctrine. Shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters of this faith. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot. Lord willing, Yahweh Shemashai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. With that, shalom, shalom, abababal.